Hello, Sophia. This is Mike, and this is my video response to your video presentation on protocol for culturally responsive organizations. And I'm going to compare my video presentation, which was Awake to Woke to Work, Building a Race Equity Culture. And I'll just make a small comparison to the differences in things that were similar between our two presentations. So the two areas I'm going to focus on is what are the major goals of our models, and the second one is what assumptions about change are embedded in this model. And the reason I selected these two questions is because one of them is pretty similar, but the other one is very abstract. And so I'll just go into the first question asking what are the major goals of this model? So you mentioned that for the protocol for culturally responsive organizations, the goal of the model is to assist organizations to improve their ability to serve communities of color, building a capacity to conserve. So how I interpreted that as the organization is learning skills so they can increase their capacity, provide a better service, and expand themselves to communities of color. The major goals of my model was building race equity culture inside the organization to provide counteraction of race inside and out of the organization. So my model was more focused on the soft skills for the workforce inside of the organization, where your model was increasing the capacity to serve communities of color. And, both of them focus on serving or equipping one another to serve communities of color. The second question that I selected to compare was what assumptions about change are embedded in this model. And when you provided your dialogue of showing the graphs and everything, but what it came down to was people want to change at all levels, and so you have to be motivated and actually looking forward to this change so you can help your communities of color. Where the same question from my organization was racial equity becomes part of the organization's DNA once they fully commit to a race equity culture. So that's an assumption that and it comes down to so for me, that can't I really can't sit on that, because that's not really true. I mean, even if you go through this training and you go through and you adhere to the model and use the tools, you actually have to want the change, like you mentioned in your assumption, in your response to the assumptions embedded in the model. You have to want to change. You can be like, workforce can be forced or mandated to take this training and use these tools, but if they personally in their heart do not want to change to help their stakeholders, their constituents in their communities, then it's just going to roll off their shoulder and they're just going to check the box versus letting the training hit home. So this is a quick video response to your presentation, which I think you did an excellent job. And I look forward to your and the rest of the class's response. Thanks.